Hello everyone, welcome to the program. It is Friday, it's June 5th. I'm Michael Taylor. Welcome to This Day. Glad to be here with you. We got a great show for you. We got lots going on, and as we get into your weekend, some activities going on this weekend as well. So we'll talk about that and more. Let's talk about right now what's on our show, and we got a good one for you. Dr. John Hovhannissian is going to be talking to Bree about your eye health, and he's going to be from Harvard Eye Associates, of course, talking about all sorts of great things about the eye and your eye health. So stay tuned for that. And then later in the program, Cole Young. We got NBA playoffs, we got Stanley Cup, we got all sorts of stuff going on. So lots of activity for finals and championships going on for sports with Cole. Stay tuned for that. Right now, though, got a little reminder, folks. You know, the pickleball courts here, they are busy all the time. I've been down to the courts, and you're not going to get anything by these folks. So make sure that it's residents only. You got to carry our ID for pickleball courts and really everything, all the services, all the amenities we have here. But I guess some people have been coming onto the pickleball courts, and they've had enough of that. So they're going to start checking IDs down there. People bringing their friends in and non-residents. And listen, I get it. Pickleball's popular. The courts are not many of them out here, so you know it's hard to get on these courts. But they're a tight-knit group down there, and they're gonna ask you to leave. So make sure that you have your ID and you are supposed to be down there for the pickleball courts. Enough said there. Let's talk about our weather. We got some great temperatures for this weekend. If you're going out to play pickleball, play some golf, whatever you might be doing, really nice temperatures for the weekend. We got 73 today, and that's going to be the high. And then we got 71 degrees and 70. Return to the marine layer a little bit on Saturday, but pretty much mostly sunny and nice weekend. We start to warm up on Monday and especially on Tuesday, but really mild temperatures for this weekend. So get out there and enjoy the lovely weather. Let's look at the sunrise, sunset. Look at that. I've always wanted to do that. Route 66, I've wanted to do that. I've talked about doing that. Someday I'm going to. This is Ludlow Cafe on Route 66. Thank you very much, Judy Blando, for taking that picture for us. And sunrise this morning, 5:40. Sunset tonight, 7:58. That looks like one of those cool old-timey diners for sure. If you want to send us a picture, you don't have to go all the way to Route 66 and drive that to do that. You can do it right here in the community. Your vacation spots, pets. Haven't seen a really good pet picture in a long time. Send us your picture of your dog or your cat. We'd love to use that one too. Email them to us, lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. Make sure you include your name, where you took the picture, and we'll use it in our sunrise sunset segment. Okay, we got a couple of meetings to tell you about. Then when we come back, we will be talking with Harvard Eye Associates' very own Dr. John Hovhannissian. Stay with us.
Grow smiles, OC treats you like family. We'll take care of your teeth and help your smile shine bright. Call 949-880-6638, where great smiles feel just right.
Your eyes let you see the world, every smile, every sunset, every moment.
At Harvard Eye Associates, our team of specialists is here to protect your vision.
From cataracts and glaucoma to retina and cornea care, we offer the latest treatments with a compassionate touch.
For over 50 years, you've trusted us with your eyes. We're honored to care for them for years to come.
Harvard Eye Associates, the future of vision today.
Everyone, welcome back to the show. We are talking about cataracts, cataract surgery. I've got Dr. John Hovhannissian.
Well said. Yes,
Thank you.
excellent.
Harvard
For our
Eye
first time working
Associates.
together, that's perfect.
John, so nice to meet you. I've heard
Pleasure.
about you for a year and a half. I've heard your name, so I should be able to pronounce it correctly. But I'm
You did
glad
well.
that I did. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. It's great to be here. It's nice to work with you, Bree, and
Thank you.
love the folks in the Village and love the folks here at Village TV. You do a great program.
Oh, fantastic. Well, we love to educate our viewers and keep them up to date on the latest in technology for health, for computer science, for everything.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
I'm mostly glad you're here, Dr. H, because I personally don't know anything about cataracts. Is it possible for you to kind of back up the truck a little bit and just sort of, because I'm sure there's a lot of viewers out there who have no idea either.
Yeah.
What is a cataract?
Cataract is a really common problem. It's essentially going to happen to all of us if we live long enough, and we certainly hope we live long enough. Cataract is a clouding of the internal lens inside our eye. Most of us don't think about it, but what lives behind the colored part of our eye is a lens that helps the eye focus. And as we age, that lens gradually becomes hardened and more cloudy. And that cloudiness progresses over time, and it can cause symptoms of cataract. Early symptoms often aren't noticeable or attributed to cataract. It can be just a little bit of difficulty reading fine print. It can be noticing glare from headlights or other bright lights around us, and we think, oh gosh, my glasses are dirty. And it's not the glasses, it's inside the eye. And at some point, it often becomes more symptomatic.
And there's nothing you can do to prevent that?
Taking good care of your body is a great way to, forestall cataracts and slow the progression. We don't have a non-surgical way to really correct them, though. It really involves surgery.
Interesting. So I have seen sort of that cloudy over the eye in canines, in dogs.
Yes. And in canines and in humans, sometimes the front window of the eye, the cornea, becomes cloudy, but often in dogs when we see through the colored part, through the pupil, when we see clouding, that is cataract, because it's a very common thing among dogs as well. And cataract surgery is routinely now performed on dogs. Not by us, but by veterinary ophthalmologists.
Right. But that's where I've noticed it. So what are the latest in recent years? What's the technology like for cataract surgery? Has it improved? What have you seen over
It has
your
improved
lifespan?
so much in recent, I'm going to say decades. Every year we see incremental change, but occasionally revolutionary change that happens. Nowadays it is a really simple 5-minute, 10-minute procedure that's done as an outpatient. What we're essentially doing is taking the lens out of the eye and putting in a new lens implant that never gets old, never wears out, never needs replacement or maintenance. There may be, for about 50% of people, a small laser treatment at some point needed, but that's really not a big event. For most people, it's a permanent correction of their vision. And really the biggest revolutionary change that's happened in recent years has been the movement toward using lens implants that are designed not just to basically replace the lens, but to enhance our vision and to make it better than it was before we developed cataract. So people who used to wear glasses or contact lenses maybe don't have to anymore. So it's kind of amazing.
Wow, that's something you can put away and forget about, right?
yeah, and permanent, right? Because after the lens of the eye is removed and replaced with an implant, the eyes don't change. The new prescription that we give is permanent, because the only part of the eye that's likely to change is the part we've replaced. So while LASIK is a wonderful procedure and can work for decades, it's not as permanent as what we do with cataract and lens replacement surgery. Isn't that cool?
Why would somebody do LASIK then?
It's a great question. So at a younger age, you've got the lens of the eye that has not hardened, and so it's soft and it's pliable, and it allows us to see far and see up close, both without glasses, right? We give some of that up when we put in a lens implant, and we can replace that focusing range in other ways, but really nothing's as good as the lens that God gave you for giving you vision. And with LASIK, what we do is take folks who are nearsighted or farsighted or have astigmatism, and we correct it by putting, like that prescription, right on the surface of the eye on the cornea. So it's a little bit less invasive. Not that cataract surgery is highly invasive, but LASIK is a little bit less invasive and simple, and it almost instantly gives a great result.
Really?
Yeah.
But it doesn't last as long, you said.
Well, it won't last forever, because most of us will eventually get cataract, right? The lens will age once we get into later life. So it may last until then.
So these are
if you're 25 and you have LASIK and it lasts until you're 65, I say that's pretty good, right? And that's often the case.
Interesting. So how does somebody know when it's time to have cataract surgery?
Great question, Bree. So really the symptoms start to become intrusive. The difficulty with fine print, driving after dark, other visual tasks we do routinely. When we have trouble with those, that's when we think about surgery. And thankfully, the surgery is fairly easy to go through, and with all these great lens implant options, we can, for many of our patients, it's actually something to look forward to.
Yeah, so tell me about the different lens options.
Yeah, there's several broad categories, and not every type is appropriate for every patient. We spend a lot of time understanding what our patients' visual habits, needs, lifestyle activities are, and then matching technology. There's also cost to many of these implants that's not covered by insurance. And so we're never trying to sell anything to a patient. We want them, though, to understand, because if I do cataract surgery for you, I'm giving you an object that might well be the most important object you receive for the rest of your life, because you're going to look through it the rest of your life. So understanding, we've got multifocal lenses, we've got extended depth of focus, we have toric single focus, we have light adjustable lenses. Each one of these we could unpack for a long time, and we won't, but they all have their place for appropriate patients. Isn't that cool?
Wow. Do you have lenses that can see through walls too?
And not quite. Yeah, that's right.
We're getting there though, right?
Yeah, right. Exactly. There are things we don't want to see, right? So we keep we just use basic optics.
That's funny. So having this conversation, I'm thinking through a couple of people that I know who have actually had cataract surgery. Now that I'm understanding what it is. One of them, she came home and she just didn't feel good. And she, I think she had the
shortly after the
dark
procedure,
glasses, and I think we had a lunch appointment or something, and she had to cancel. And so tell me about that. Are there any adverse side effects to having cataract surgery?
Well, it's important to think about side effects and risks with any surgery. In the very short term, right after a procedure, most people are a little bit sedated. We make them relax, because the idea of someone doing something to your eye is not easy for a lot of people. So we give them an IV and we give them a little bit of medicine so they're relaxed, so that I can promise they're not anxious about it.
Okay.
And so the after effect of that can be,
So
a
that wears
little.
off.
If you've ever had a colonoscopy or other procedure with sedation, you may not be up for going out to lunch right afterwards.
Yeah.
You'll be a little tired and fatigued for the rest of the day, and that's fine. It's a good time to rest. But the next day, most people are back to most normal activities like driving and reading and showering, using a computer. You brought up risks. 1 in 1,000 is the chance of significant or severe side effects that can happen with any surgery in the eye. So retinal detachment, infection, major bleeding that could potentially lead to real loss of vision are possible but rare. The other category is less serious. So I like to make the analogy to driving a car. You can have a serious accident, it could kill you. It's fairly rare though. Or you could have a fender bender, which is more of an annoyance. The fender bender here are less serious complications that might delay healing or require additional surgery. Having some problem that maybe we can fix, maybe we can't, that's not a blinding condition. So maybe 1 in 100 for that second category.
Right. And then can you speak to, my boyfriend actually had cataract surgery. Now that I'm thinking about it, I should have known that off the top of my head. His pupils were almost mirror-like.
Yeah. Sometimes
I was like, are you have disco balls in your eyes?
You see a little glint sometimes. Occasionally that's visible if the pupil's big enough, and certain lens implants do less of that. A lot of the modern implants do a little bit less of that than others, but occasionally, yeah, you can see that if you're looking carefully.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. So for those of us, and I will put myself in this category, I tend to put things off.
Yeah.
Like, I'll deal with it later. I don't want to be bothered with it right now.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. What would you say to somebody who knows they need to have cataract surgery but just is procrastinating?
Great question. So if cataract is starting to interfere with your lifestyle, it's probably worthwhile to just get it done. Not that there's a rush ever for elective surgery. This is elective in the sense that we don't have to do it today. It's not an emergency. But with time, cataract becomes harder inside the eye. The lens becomes harder, and there are a little bit greater risks of removing it. We're never trying to rush anyone into surgery, and so one of our jobs is to help them understand, okay, in what time frame might you want to consider doing this, right? So is it a this month kind of thing, or this year type of thing, or is this something we can put off for a while? And so that's a decision to make with your eye doctor.
So I didn't realize that this was an elective surgery.
Well, so when I say elective, I don't mean it's elective like a cosmetic surgery. I mean it's elective in the sense that you sort of choose when you do it. Right? If you don't treat it, you will become visually disabled eventually, and then it's really not elective. But the technology is good enough that we don't need to wait until we're completely disabled to do it, right? And so in that sense, you can sort of elect when you're ready to do it. So do it when it's a good time for you. You've got a week or two that you're maybe a little bit less busy. And if you want extra help at home, most people don't need it, but that can make it easier if you need that.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here with me today. I really appreciate all the information. I know our viewers do as well.
Yeah, of
I look
course.
forward to seeing you next time.
Pleasure. Nice meeting you and a pleasure working with you,
Thank you,
Brady.
Dr. H.
Good.
You're watching This Day on Village TV. We'll be back after these messages.
For over 50 years, we've had the privilege of caring for our community's vision.
From routine eye exams to advanced eye care, we're here every step of the way.
Because clear vision means seeing life's most precious moments.
Thank you for trusting Harvard Eye Associates with your vision today and for many years to come.
Harvard Eye Associates, the future vision today.
If you're living with spinal stenosis, sciatica, or any other spine issue, you're not alone. And you do have options.
I was flat on my back. Kind of severe back pain.
At Excel Health, we offer a free MRI review with experienced, fellowship-trained spine surgeons.
I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm active, so...
Our minimally invasive procedures mean most patients are walking just hours after surgery. Call Excel Health today, and let's talk about what we can do for you.
Discover Canyon Spirit, the new rail journey from the creators of Rocky Mountaineer, built on decades of world-class hospitality. See the Southwest like never before. Travel only by day and enjoy panoramic glass dome views that showcase the region's most unforgettable vistas. Relax in premium comfort, savor regionally inspired cuisine, and let the onboard hosts bring every mile to life. Seats are limited. Book your Canyon Spirit adventure now with AAA Laguna Hills.
Hello and welcome to this Friday's episode of Sports Corner. I'm Cole Young, and since I was off the air last week, we have a lot to catch up on a lot of different sports. Starting with our two sports that are in their final weeks, the NBA Finals have arrived. Last time we spoke, the Timberwolves and Spurs had just finished Game 5, with a 3-2 series lead for the Spurs heading into Game 6. Stephon Castle had 32 points and 11 rebounds, and Victor Wembanyama and San Antonio romped past the Timberwolves 139-109 and into the Western Conference Finals. There, they faced their toughest task yet, the defending champion Oklahoma City Thunder. This series was must-watch TV throughout. They traded wins back and forth and eventually forced the two best words in sports, Game 7. In that winner-take-all Game 7, Victor Wembanyama scored 22 points, Julian Champagnie got 18 of his 20 points off of three-pointers, and the Spurs beat the Thunder 111-103 on Saturday night, dethroning the reigning champs and earning a spot in the NBA Finals. The Spurs last were in the finals in the 2013 season, where they defeated LeBron James and the Miami Heat for a title. Now, they will face what I believe is the scariest team in the NBA right now, the Eastern Conference champion New York Knicks. When this show last aired, the Knicks had just swept the Philadelphia 76ers to move on to the conference finals. In their way of their first NBA Finals appearance since 1998 stood the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Knicks kept their winning streak alive, immediately taking a 3-0 series lead over the Cavs. In Game 4, Karl Anthony Towns had 19 points and 14 rebounds, OG Anunoby scored 17, and the Knicks dominated Cleveland 130-93 to complete a 4-game sweep of the Eastern Conference Finals and advance to the NBA Finals. Like I said, this is their first finals appearance since the 1998 season, where they lost to the San Antonio Spurs, meaning we get to witness a rematch. The championship finale tipped off on Wednesday night, and it started out with a bang. Jalen Brunson scored 30 points, Karl Anthony Towns finished with 18 points and 12 rebounds, and the Knicks erased a 14-point second-half deficit to beat the Spurs 105-95 in Game 1 of the Finals. The Knicks have now won 12 straight playoff games. Game 2 will be tonight at 5:30, Game 3 will be Monday at 5:30, and Game 4 will be next Wednesday, also at 5:30. While I find it unlikely, if we get another series sweep, we could have a champion crowned by this time next week. Moving over to the ice, the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs have been electric to this point. 2 weeks ago, the hometown Anaheim Ducks were eliminated by the Vegas Golden Knights, who punched their ticket to the Western Conference Finals. In their way of a shot at a title stood the powerhouse Colorado Avalanche. The Avs were the favorite virtually all season to win a cup, but what happened in this series shocked the world. The Knights dominated the Avalanche through the first 3 games, taking a 3-0 lead. Then, in Game 4, they kept on rolling. The Vegas defense suffocated Colorado, plus goals from Mark Stone and Cole Smith led the Knights to a 2-1 Game 4 win, completing the stunning series sweep of the Avs and earning their spot in the finals for the 3rd time in just the last 9 seasons since the franchise was formed. Representing the Eastern Conference is the Carolina Hurricanes. After the Montreal Canadiens upset the Buffalo Sabres, they moved on to face the Hurricanes. While Montreal put up a good fight at first, Carolina was just too dominant. Taylor Hall, Logan Stankoven, and Eric Robinson scored in a dominating first period in Game 5 that helped push the Hurricanes past the Canadiens 6-1, closing a series that sent the East's top seed to face Vegas for the Cup. It took 8 years, but the Hurricanes have finally broken through their Eastern Conference final roadblock. Now comes the chance to play for the Stanley Cup for the first time in 2 decades. The Stanley Cup final got underway on Tuesday night, and the series also started out with a bang. Just 25 seconds into Game 1, Nikolaj Ehlers got Carolina on the board in the first shot of the game, immediately taking a 1-0 lead. It was apparent this game would feature a lot of scoring. At the end of the first period, Carolina was up 2-1. At the second intermission, the game was tied at 3-3. Finally, Thomas Hertl took a backhand pass from Colton Sissons and beat Frederik Andersen from the slot with 3:24 left in the third period, lifting the Golden Knights past the Hurricanes 5-4 in the opener of the Stanley Cup final. Game 2 was last night, and the Hurricanes earned a win at home, tying the series at 1 win apiece in their hunt for their first cup since 2006. Game 3 will be tomorrow night on ABC. Just like the NBA, it's possible we will have a champion crowned by next week, so don't miss out on any of the action. It's been a few weeks since we've talked about the NFL, and some major news broke this week. First, in a move that was expected, the New England Patriots officially traded for Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver A.J. Brown. In exchange, the Eagles received a 2028 first-round pick and a 2027 fifth-round pick. This is a massive addition for last year's Super Bowl runner-up Patriots. Since entering the league as a second-round selection by the Tennessee Titans back in 2019, Brown is 4th in the NFL in both receiving yards with 8,029 and touchdown catches with 56. Brown and Cincinnati's Jamar Chase are the NFL's only 2 players with at least 1,000 yards receiving and 7+ touchdown catches in each of the past 4 seasons. Brown left his mark on Philadelphia, where he has the 2 highest single-season receiving yard totals in franchise history, 1,496 yards in 2022 and 1,456 yards in 23. Brown helped lead the Eagles to a dominant Super Bowl win over the Chiefs in 2025. But since then, the star wideout's relationship with the coaches, teammates, and the organization has visibly crumbled. So it was only a matter of time before he departed Philly, and he now reunites with his former Titans head coach, Mike Vrabel. While this trade was an important one, it was overshadowed by one of the most shocking trades in NFL history. News broke on Tuesday that shook up the entire league. The Cleveland Browns traded 2-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year Myles Garrett to the Los Angeles Rams for 2-time Pro Bowl pass rusher Jared Verse and multiple draft picks. The Browns received the first-round draft pick in 2027, a second-round pick in 2028, and a third-rounder in 2029. Garrett is coming off of a season in which he set the NFL's all-time single-season sack record and is regarded as the best defensive player in football. But the Browns didn't walk away empty-handed. They received Jared Verse, who has made a Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 seasons. He's had 12 sacks and 22 tackles for loss since being drafted and has a bright future ahead of him. A young talent plus a lot of draft stock means the Browns should still be happy with the trade. But the Rams were already Super Bowl favorites going into this year, and the addition of one of the best pass rushers in history just boosts their chances even more. Moving over to the other football, the Champions League title match took place last Saturday, and it was one of the most wild matches in history. Paris Saint-Germain became just the second team to win back-to-back Champions League titles after rallying to beat Arsenal following a penalty shootout in Budapest, Hungary. It was the first final to go to a penalty shootout since Madrid beat neighbors Atletico Madrid 10 years ago. With PSG up 4-3, Arsenal defender Gabriel Magalhaes lined up for the final kick to tie the score. His shot sailed high over the crossbar, and PSG had won. PSG joins Real Madrid, which won 3 successive titles between 2016 and 2018, as the only team to successfully defend the Champions League since the competition was rebranded in 1992. Overall, PSG is the 10th team in European Cup history, dating back to 1955, to win consecutive titles. It was an amazing end to the Champions League and a great way to get the world ready for the World Cup. With all that said, enjoy the NBA Finals, Stanley Cup Finals, regular season baseball, tennis, golf, and so much more that this weekend has to offer. Be sure to come right back next Friday for more news, updates, and highlights from all across the sports world. I'm Cole Young. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time.
At Adapt to It, we strive to make the everyday tasks easier by providing our customers with the tools they need to be successful. We carefully explain the use and care of all of our equipment. Adapt to It has been in Laguna Woods for over 20 years, and we know that nothing in life stays constant. So we can help you adapt to all the changes in your life. Adapt to It sells and rents items and always delivers with a smile. Come in today to experience what we mean when we say, when you can't change it, adapt to it.
The Laguna Woods History Center, the only purpose-built local history archive in Orange County, has been capturing the legacy of our community since 1977. As a nonprofit dedicated to preserving today for tomorrow, we collect, conserve, and share the history of Laguna Woods Village, the city of Laguna Woods, and the surrounding Orange County region. Step into the past and connect with the present at your community archive. Whether you're curious about local milestones, searching for historical documents, or exploring treasured artifacts, the History Center is your gateway to the stories that shape Laguna Woods. The Laguna Woods History Center is a separate building adjacent to the Village Library. We are open Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. or by appointment. Visit us and find your place in history.
Welcome back, everybody. We got some great movies. First, we're going to start with a classic for today. It is Love in the Afternoon, starring Gary Cooper and Audrey Hepburn, brought to us by Hoag Orthopedic Institute. Going to be on at 2 p.m. with the subtitles and 6 p.m. without the subtitles. A middle-aged playboy becomes fascinated by the daughter of a private detective who has been hired to entrap him with the wife of a client. Dum, 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 dum. All right, there's Love in the Afternoon. And then on Saturday, another classic. This is really an all-timer. A Cool Hand Luke, starring Paul Newman. It's brought to us by Harvard Eye Associates. It's going to be at 2 p.m. with the subtitles and 6 p.m. without the subtitles. It's a laid-back Southern man sentenced to 2 years in a rural prison, but refuses to conform. What we have here is a failure to communicate, as you well know if you've watched that movie. It's a classic. Make sure you watch it if you never have, or revisit it if you haven't. It's a good one. All right, folks, let's talk about weather, and we've got some great temperatures. If you're not going to stay indoors and watch the movies, go outside and enjoy these lovely spring cool temperatures. We got 73 today, 71 on Saturday, and another cooler day on Sunday. Then we start to warm up just a bit on Monday and Tuesday, nice and warm, but enjoy the lovely weather we have, nice cool temperatures. There you go. Tomorrow on the program, Bree and I are going to be talking, the whole program talking about Orange County Fire Authority and CHP's every 15 minutes program. It's a drunk driving prevention program that they do at high schools, how important it is and how it's grown from what it was to what it is today, which is a nationwide event. So stay tuned for that one as well. That's going to do it for this edition of This Day. I'm Michael Taylor. For all of us here at Village Television, we hope you make this day a great one.